Hi, I'm Cameron, and this is the Big Sankofa. And today I'm here to share a very special and important story about what's going on with my family. This is my beautiful mother, Charlie, and my sister, Chaz. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the healthcare system here in Ghana versus the US, but more importantly, about my mother's current urgent medical needs and the reason why we're seeking to raise money to cover her leg surgery and her ongoing breast cancer treatment. So, Mom, can you tell them a little bit about the injury that happened that has caused the osteomyelitis, and so they can understand the type of surgery that you will need to have?
Hmm. My granddaughter and I were walking hand in hand on a really popular street in East Lagan. And most of the streets have open gutters. So I'm walking with Micah, and my foot crashes through a raggedy piece of plywood all the way to the bottom, I want to say 18 inches to the sewer, which is filled with you can only imagine what, and my shin is shredded up. I had on jeans, so I didn't know how bad it was until I started walking home and blood was running down my leg. Anyway, I get back to your apartment and I clean it up as best I could with antibiotics, and I don't think anything of it because because it's my shin, it's not flesh, and it stopped bleeding relatively quick. But because of those germs that were in the sewer, I developed osteomyelitis. And osteomyelitis is the destruction of the bone marrow by either bacteria, fungi, or bacteremia. So if you can imagine a chicken bone missing all the red marrow, that's what osteomyelitis does. It kills bone cells and weakens the bone. So, and it was diagnosed as osteomyelitis with the need to treat it before the bone became so hollow that it would break, or I risk losing a leg because I'm old, and if it breaks, it might be really bad.
That's right. And the osteomyelitis also caused significant and
Rapid
rapid
weight loss.
weight
Yeah.
loss, um, which helped in a way to diagnose your
Breast
tumor.
cancer,
Hmm.
yeah. So you picked me up and said how poor I was, and I later saw myself, and I was less endowed, and it was just a shock. I was pitiful poor. But because I lost so much weight, probably 30 pounds in less than 6 weeks, I was able to feel a pea-sized lump in my breast that I wouldn't have been able to feel if I kept my size 36C. So in a way, that's a that's a good thing. It led to the discovery of lobular breast cancer, which is really aggressive. So had to act soon on that because by the time I got to America, it went from pea size to as big as a walnut.
That's right. And so, you know, Charlie, typically, I call her Charlie. She's my mom. She prefers to be called Charlie, just in case you weren't aware. But she spends when she is here in Ghana. She lives here full time. She's in the eastern region with us, and she has a avid green thumb, and she puts in lots of work with the aquaponic system and growing peppers and all kind of vegetables. But when we do come into town on weekends and such, that's when you have an opportunity to see her, and was also quite surprised with her weight loss.
Right. So my mom came and visited me, and it was immediately apparent that she had lost a lot of weight. And so she'll say, "Well, I only eat once a day." And so we really weren't sure what it was. But then like staff would notice and people would notice that like she just got smaller and smaller and smaller. My mom had nicer boobs than I did. And I was like, okay, something is really up. And so we started talking with medical doctors in Ghana, and because there's the perception that in the United States you can get better treatment, we were like, okay, um, let's get her leg treated there. And so we flew her to the United States. Really, too much time had elapsed from waiting and then trying to see about medical care here before making the decision to go to the States. But we flew her to the United States, and there we were expecting that, okay, it's going to be chop, chop, fast, fast. She's going to be able to see this doctor, see that doctor, get it, get things done, check on what we did not think was breast cancer at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then she got to the United States, and like 1 week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by of her going to doctors who were not listening to her, who, because she got a diagnosis of osteomyelitis in Ghana, were like, well, kind of pretty much where you got it from, African doctor, let us check you for all these other things. And then on top of that, she didn't have the Medicare. Which Medicare did you need?
I didn't have Medicare Part B or C.
She didn't have Medicare Part B or C because her idea was that I'm coming to live in Ghana, on a fixed income, let me let that lapse. And so we were like, okay, surely she'll be able to apply, fast, and they'll be able to treat her for a life-threatening injury anyway. And no, just the U.S. first world country was willing, they let her die.